people of the internet, and today this is becoming a yearly event. Today I'm going to be redrawing my redraw. There's no time to waste. So here I'm starting off with sketch. You would notice that I actually put down the circle and all that instead of trying to do it straight away. You know, it makes slightly more sense. And it's not very straight now. I do straighten it out a lot later. I use the symmetry tool quite a lot in this sketch and a lot of copy pasting. The eyes is a focus for me here because I really wanted to make the eyes look better from last year's piece because I really dislike the eyes. He's looking in two different directions, it looks horrible. Here I was deciding how to form the hair. I ended up going with a completely different hairstyle compared to this, but I did try and keep it close to the redesigns, and then I realized I was having more fun with the other hair that I designed, and I switched to the other hair. But I did a third sketch that I line arted over, and it will just pop into existence because the video would be too long if it didn't. Here I'm trying to replicate the original, but I realized I didn't like this mess of hair. It just didn't look right to me, and I found a reference on the internet I really ended up liking, so I decided to follow along with the reference a bit and come up with my own stuff, and yeah. Also, in this redraw, I decided to give him a little scholarship, because you notice how last year's drawing I had a bunch of school motifs. He was wearing a backpack and all that, so I decided to give him a scholarship since he graduated from whatever school he was wearing a backpack at. So I gave him a little piece of paper. Last year's drawing was not symmetrical at all, so here I'm making sure it is very symmetrical. Or I tried my best, because there's still a lot of asymmetry with the hair, and maybe some half is longer, some half is shorter like the other years, but it's a lot better definitely. So I was flipping my canvas a lot, and I kind of forgot when I got to the line art. This was the start of my second sketch, which we should be skipping over. Yep, here is a second sketch finished. A third sketch. 1 hour and 6 minutes in, I finished my final sketch and decided to get to line arting. I found this really nice brush pen I like. One thing I've noticed, my Studio Clip paint setup is so much different to last year's drawing, because last year's drawing was when I first got the program, so everything's set up in awful positions for me. Line arting this, I did a lot more neater than last year. Last year I tried to go for a sketchy look, which makes absolutely no sense, but this year I tried to do it as neatly as possible while keeping the brush's advantages. Some part of me thinks that the line art is a bit too thin and I should have made it thicker. I thought about copying and pasting it, and I ended up doing it, but some part of me wanted to do this all by hand, then I realized that would be stupid. Here I'm doing the eyes. We actually skipped forward in time because I paused my recording and forgot to unpause it. Here are the eyes coming into existence. The glasses are actually properly line arted. In last year's piece they have vague line art around them, which makes no sense. I was actually on the wrong sketch layer for that. I was using my old sketch layer instead of the new one with the ribbon. I sized it up a little bit and got to coloring. Compared to last year's where I did it painstakingly, I just touched up the edges a little bit and used the bucket tool. I copied the skin tone and the hair colors from last year's. It just worked well. I copied the eyes from the original colors. Oh yes, the hoodie is now a bright yellow because I realized this drawing has a very warm color palette and I wanted to make the drawing more yellow. I'm kind of worried that I've changed this character's design a bit too much, but I changed the hair because I was having a lot of fun with the more wavy hair compared to last year's. Here I started shading the hair. There's going to be a massive difference in the brush I use. I actually used a rough shading brush that I downloaded from some normal artist, and this brush changes the look of the shading to make it so much more softer compared to the original. I'm still not satisfied with the hair shading. I found it a slight struggle. I couldn't find the kind of balance I liked between them. The softness in brushes really comes through when you put them side by side, which is what you'll see at the end. I tried here to do a gradient tone, but I realized I don't like the gradient tones anymore. I used to shade with gradient a lot. I added the blush when I first started sketching this. I always wanted to keep the slight blush. Here it took a while to find the color that I was satisfied with. When I can't find the color, I generally just make a new layer and alpha lock it, so that way I can always change it later. I'm still not satisfied with the way I draw eyes. I wish I could do it a lot better than. Finally adding highlights to the eyes so my character doesn't look dead inside. I'm thinking I might actually have to name him if I keep redrawing him like this over and over. I made the glasses into a screen tint. This may have made them a bit too light, and here's me figuring out the background. And that's pretty much it for the speed paint. The background, I did end up changing it from what you see here, and here you can see all the drawings side by side. Now, tell me, what do you think?